In no other time in history has America focused more on the abortion debate. The debate has always been here, but nothing like today. In early 2019, the New York State Senate joined several other states in passing, with thunderous applause, a full-term abortion bill. This reckless attitude and apparent joy on the lawmakers' part has caused many that consider themselves pro-choice to question their stance. The purpose of this video is not to condemn the lawmakers or to condemn the law, but I want us to focus on the people that are often forgotten in the middle of all of this, and that is the young women with unplanned pregnancies who feel that abortion is the only way out of this predicament. So often, so many young girls and women suffer in silence in the Lord's churches and even Christian homes because they're ashamed of their actions. The all too familiar judgmental stares and even the judgmental comments from church members has driven them to this silence. I believe God has called us to be better than that. Here at First Choice Pregnancy Center in Texarkana, Texas, they provide comfort, resources, and a shoulder to cry on for young families caught up in unplanned pregnancies. The resources they offer are free of charge, made possible because of donations from the community and local churches. We interviewed them, asking them many questions, but the focus is what can we as churches and as Christians do to help these young girls.
I do think, as most churches, most mainline churches do believe that abortion is wrong, and we believe that too. But when you're talking about sin, there's some language can be important, and I think we have to be sensitive as a church. Back in the day, the pro-life movement really felt like if you could basically scare a woman into realizing that that was a sin and they shouldn't do it, then you would save her soul and save the life of the child. But we realize that that's really not an effective way anymore. People used to use pictures of aborted fetuses and things like that as kind of scare tactics, and that really is not graceful. That's not loving. That's not kind. And there are still people who take that tact. And we've had clients who've come here who've said, the ladies at church have already turned me off. I'm here because I have to be, but they've shown me pictures and they've already judged me, and I've made up my mind. So sometimes the church can do more harm than good. And I know that there are a lot of clients who are Christian who they fear rejection from their church family.
I think if the church could just love on these clients who are facing an unplanned pregnancy, that could be the most effective thing that they could do. The most common reaction that a client experiences when they're facing an unplanned pregnancy is fear, because pregnancy is a big deal. It can affect your whole life, and it can affect you for the rest of your life.
So when the girls come in for the counseling session part of their visit, the client advocate will go over different things with the woman. She may not even realize, that when a heartbeat starts in the baby and things like that. So we have a PowerPoint that we go over that goes over fetal development. It goes over all of her options when she's pregnant, because there are several options out there. We show her our fetal models that we have here in the counseling room. It shows the baby's exact size and weight depending on how far along they are in their pregnancy. And that's an awesome tool because it shows that, it's not just a little blob of tissue like they may have been told somewhere else, but it's a real little person. It's just small.
When a client can see their baby on the screen, pregnancy becomes more than an idea or a thought. It's a real deal. It can be a game changer.
If a girl decides that she is going to parent her baby, which is what our ultimate goal is then we try to get her to sign up for some of our free classes that we offer. And every time they come to class, they get baby bucks that they can use to spend in our mommy store for baby items such as diapers, wipes, baby clothes, and all of those items are donated by people in the community, churches, businesses.
1 in 4 women in church have had an abortion experience today in this country. I don't know who they are in my church, and I would venture to guess you don't know who they are in your church. But just be careful when you're having conversations, because when somebody says, you know, they're murderers, you might be talking about the abortionist, that the industry that does it, but the woman who's been through that, they feel like you're talking about them, and that's judgment, and that's just room for the devil to get in their head and separate them from God. So I think the words we say and the actions that we take, big and small, as a church, can really make a huge difference in how these ladies and men are going to decide to walk in the future.
We hope this video helps you and to those you're ministering. We encourage you to share this information with your church, with your ladies group, even your men's group, with the hopes of reaching out to the community. We encourage you to get involved with your local pregnancy center or start one yourself in your church. The question is not whether or not someone's going to make a bad decision. The question is, what will we do to help them, and how will we show the love of God?